Fair use. Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. September 23rd. I was an exception. He, Bill W., said to me gently and simply, "Do you think that you are one of us?" Alcoholics Anonymous, page 413, third edition. During my drinking life, I was convinced I was an exception. I thought I was beyond petty requirements and had the right to be excused. I never realized that the dark counterbalance of my attitude was the constant feeling that I did not belong. At first in AA, I identified with others only as an alcoholic. What a wonderful awakening for me it has been to realize that if human beings were doing the best they could, then so was I. All of the pains, confusions, and joys they feel are not exceptional, but part of my life just as much as anybody's. Courage to Change, One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, September 23rd. One of my character defects is to respond in kind to behavior that is directed at me, to react to insults with more insults, to rudeness with rudeness. I never thought to act any other way until I began traveling to work with a longtime member of Al-Anon. Each day, when my friend would stop to buy the morning paper, the person behind the counter was surly and hostile. No matter how rudely she was treated, my friend consistently behaved with courtesy. I was outraged. Doesn't Al-Anon tell us we don't have to accept unacceptable behavior? Finally, I asked her about it. She told me that since this is the only newsstand around, she would rather detach from the behavior than do without her morning paper. She explained that she is powerless over other people's attitudes, but she doesn't have to permit them to goad her into lowering her own standards for herself. To the best of her ability, she chooses to treat everyone she meets with courtesy. Other people are free to make whatever choices they prefer. Today's reminder. Today I will let it begin with me. I do not have to accept unacceptable behavior. I can begin by refusing to accept it for myself. I can choose to behave courteously and with dignity. My freedom and independence do not depend on any acts of defiance or confrontation. They depend on my own attitudes and feelings. If I am always reacting, then I am never free. Just for today, Daily Meditations for Recovering Addicts. September 23rd, Dealing with Gossip. In accordance with the principles of recovery, we try not to judge, stereotype, or moralize with each other. Basic text, page 11. Let's face it, in Narcotics Anonymous, we live in a glass house of sorts. Our fellow members know more about our personal lives than anyone has ever known before. They know who we spend our time with, where we work, what step we're on, how many children we have, and so forth. And what our fellow members don't know, they will probably imagine. We may be unhappy when others gossip about us, but if we withdraw from the fellowship and isolate ourselves to avoid gossip, we will also rob ourselves of the love, friendship, and unparalleled experience with recovery that our fellow members have to offer. A better way to deal with gossip is to simply accept the ways things are and the way we are, and live our lives according to principles. The more secure we become with our own personal program, the decisions we make, and the guidance we receive from a loving God, the less the opinions of others will concern us. Just for today, I am committed to being involved in the NA Fellowship. The opinions of others will not affect my commitment to recovery. Today, Emotions Anonymous, September 23rd. Reflection for today. I am a guilt addict. The 12-step program is helping me to recover from this addiction. Slowly, my eyes are opening to the truth of my behavior and how it feeds this addiction. In the past, I would overfill each day with must-dos and have-tos and shoulds, so that each evening I felt exhausted and guilty about what did not get done. Each morning began with leftover guilt feelings from the behavior of the day before. The future appeared as a repeat of the past. Not enough time for the perfect performance of every duty and desire. By practicing the program, I have become aware of my addiction and the harm it does me. This awareness is followed by acceptance, forgiveness, and then action. Meditation for today. Help me concentrate on step 3 today. This step ever reminds me that your will for me does not have a guilt aftertaste. Today, I will remember. Feeling guilty is an indulgence which always hurts me and destroys my enjoyment of the present day. I will choose to be free of it. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. September 23rd. Resentment. Before recovery, some of us spent countless hours in resentment. BRB, page 380. Many of us came into ACA with seething resentments. We can be recognized by the 100-pound resentment rock around our necks. Convinced that the rock was placed there by others, we hang onto it as if to let go would cause us harm. The rock is content to remain where it is. However, the pain of carrying it may be too much. ACA teaches us that forgiving others has nothing to do with the other person. We do it for ourselves so we can let go of our own pain. We hear others say that praying daily to forgive the person we resent will eventually rid us of that resentment. We learn that we don't forgive the act, but we do forgive the person. Many of us who hear these things for the first time think it sounds foolish. But what else have we done that has been able to chip away at the poison our resentment has brought into our lives? So we try it repeatedly every day. After a while, we notice a remarkable thing happening. The details that seem so important and were feeding our ongoing resentment seem to be fading. Our rock is losing some of its weight. The affirmation reads, "On this day, I do what has worked for so many others in recovery. I pray that the resentment I've been mired in for so long will be removed." Please share, subscribe, like, and most of all, be the you that you are created to be. And to remember that you are not alone, and also that recovery is possible, one day at a time.